Well, how do there, chums? 'Tis I, Captain Stephen. Today, chums, for you guys out there in the viewerverse, I'm going to be talking about prepping for the next update. Now, this next update is a combat-related update, or at least we think it is, going by the emoji being a gun. So yes, anything that has guns inside of your game, including your multi-tool, your freighter, your starship, etc., you might want to try and get yourself some modules installed. Now, a lot of these modules are going to cost you nanites. So yes, in this video, I'm going to be talking about getting nanites, but not only that, sometimes tech may use salvage data. So yeah, you might want to dig up some salvage data just in case it might be turrets for bases or something. But yeah, you can see here I've got 111,000 nanites. So yes, if you want to get nanite rich quite quick, the methods that I'm going to bring to you in this video are my farming methods that are fairly quick. And yet, you know, you can just do save and reloads and replenish, but we get to that in a moment. But yes, all these modules that I've got, these S-class modules that I've got installed here, you need to buy using nanites. So that's why I say nanites are very important, and that's what we're going to be prepping with today. Now, I've got 3 multi-tools. This one here has got the incinerator in, and it does about 9,000 damage. But I have made an OP in a multi-tool. This one over here, my medication device. So let's go over here. Lovely jubbly, my medication multi-tool. You can see that's well over 100,000 in damage potential. And I made a little playlist on this actual multi-tool. So if you want to hit that up, that'd be freaking ace. So there's the playlist from my multi-tool and how I got it so OP. Enjoy. Yeah, if you haven't got a multi-tool that's good for combat, I maybe make one just in case we do get a new challenge. That'd be freaking ace if we got a new challenge. But anyway, to my bases where you can earn yourself nanites. So the first one we're going to be hitting up is a deposit farm. Yeah, so a runaway mould deposit farm. I have one, and I'm going to share it with you right now, people. Important announcement there, people. Yeah, so I have got quite a lot of ways of making nanites. And if this isn't for you, I mean, if you've got no portal glyphs, you might not be able to do this. But I've got a whole playlist full of how to make nanites in pretty quick succession, whether you're early game or late game. So I'll put a link in the top right-hand corner to my nanite playlist. Enjoy! Important announcement, over. Right, so this is my runaway mould farm, and yes, Captain Stephen Realwell just mentioned about getting portal glyphs. Now, I have got a video on how you can get portal glyphs super darn quick. It takes probably about 4 to 5 hours still, but that's still relatively quick in the grand scheme of things. So I put a link in the top right hand corner on how to get your portal glyphs. Righto, so these little balls, you just shoot them, they roll down the hill, and you pop them, you get yourself some runaway mould. Once you've got your runaway mould, you stick it inside of the refiners that I have at this base, and yeah, it turns them into nanites. And within about 10 minutes, you're going to get about 1,000 nanites. So this is a fairly quick way of doing this. In fact, it's less than 10 minutes. It's about 3.5 minutes for 1,000 nanites, there or thereabout. So you might spend all day here, basically, if you want to get 100,000 nanites. So here we go. Let's put them in here. Now, I should have a load of runaway mould, about nearly 5,000. So I'm going to break that down into quarters because there's 4 machines here, so I want to break them down 4 times and place them in here. So here we go, let's put that into there. Now this last chunk I just want to split in half, so here we are. Head on over to this medium refiner. Where are you? Half of that into there. You can see that it's going to take 2.5 minutes to make 257. So yeah, you're going to make about 1,000 nanites there or thereabouts every sort of 3 minutes. That's kind of where I'm getting the timers from. Now there is a save point inside of my little base hut near to the actual portal. All you would do is collect all your nanites from there and then just hit up a save, then reload your save, and all those balls will be back and you can rinse and repeat. Or during this 3 minutes that they're going to be spinning into nanites, I could jump into my ship and fly over to one of these other nanite farms on this base. And there's a heck of a lot of them, and it's the same thing. A lot of them have got the refiners there. You just pop a load of freaking runaway mould into their machines and then fly back to this one and loop back round. Mind-blowing. You can make shed loads of nanites that way. But sometimes I have found I've gone back to my refiner to find them to be empty, which can be a bit of a pain in the neck. So I'd say just stay at the one base and just keep doing reloads. codes. This is in Euclid, and there's the portal code. If you like this farm and this sort of method of gaining your nanites, it's a pretty darn lucrative way of doing so. So there we go, I've got myself 130 odd there. Yeah, that's half a stack done. Another 54 seconds, I'll have the rest. Fantastamondo, heck yes. But if you don't like this method, people out there in the viewerverse, I have got another farm. It's a little droid farm, and this doesn't, you don't have to be too active on this one. Second important announcement, if you haven't already done so, please hit a like and a subscribe if you like what you're seeing with your eye holes and your ear holes. Yes, that'd be freaking awesome. Then you're locked in for Captain Steve goodies. I say goodies, more content from me, more videos perhaps. Yeah, especially if there's an update coming, you want somebody for your No Man's Sky content potentials. Yes, hit us up. Yes, hit that like, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell. Do all that sort of shizzle. It really does help us content creators. Thanking you. Important announcement over, yet again. So there's actually two methods at this farm that you can use. I'll show you both, but I think I prefer the feeding of the droid method, mainly because the other method takes a while up in the actual next that's handing in food items to Kronos, and he doesn't give you a great deal for the two recipes that I can make here. But anyway, head on over to these nutrient processors after getting the carbon from the racks, stick it in, and you're going to see that you're going to get 1-to-1 in making creature pellets. Lovely, which is freaking ace, because if you do attempt to try and make creature pellets inside of your inventory space, which I'm going to do in a moment, you would see it's actually something like 60-to-1. So you get a much better rate of making your creature pellets as a 1-to-1 from the refiner. So if I go into here and I make some more creature pellets in here, just to show you, you can see that it's 60 freaking carbon to make one freaking creature pellet. But I'm just going to get these ones over here just to get the actual process going. So these little sort of pedestal-y type ones, these things, automated feeders. You put the actual creature pellets in here and it's going to pump them out onto the ground for all these droid creatures to munch on. So I'm just going to strategically go to the ones that are on the outer regions of my farm to hopefully feed a few creatures just to get it on going while we're waiting for the other creature pellets to finish inside of those refiners, or processors I should say, nutrient refiners or whatever they are, processors, nutrient processors, that's the ones. So there you go, sticking them all in there. Those are now feeding the creatures. Now let's head on into here and let's see if we've got some more pellets now. Are you baked pellets? Yes you are. Now those actual carbon racks, they replenish themselves like every about 3 to 5 minutes or so, but you can just hit up a save and do a reload. The only thing is, if you do a save and a reload here, people, all the creatures despawn, and sometimes not as many spawn back in, so you're best just to watch them out of the window. Now what you can do is, after you've got all those creature feeders filled with the actual pellets, if you've got some housework to do or something like that, you can just rest something on your joypad, so you're just sort of spinning the camera around in a circle or something. So yeah, it doesn't put your PlayStation to sleep or whatever console or platform you're on. Just make it so something's moving the whole time, so it doesn't, put your console to sleep. And then yeah, you can just come back and harvest the actual creature harvesters, which are these big things in the middle here, this livestock unit. Oh, I've only got one at the moment in that one. But lovely, we'll pick that up. We'll see if we've got any in the others. But there you go, I need to fill all these up. It's not working to its maximum potential as yet, but you get the idea. If you can put sort of like 25 in each of these or something, so you can just leave it for a good hour and then come back to it after an hour, you're going to be freaking nanite rich in the space of an hour, and you've hardly done any sort of work. Now you are going to have to eat all of these wires. Now normally you'd have to hold down square to eat them, but I'm going to show you can turn off a setting so you don't have to hold down square to initiate an action. You can just tap it, so you can just go mental and eat all of them and super duper quickly. So there we go, let's put all those into there. Head on over to this one and we'll just put 5 in here, and I think this is my last one. Oh no, I've already done that one. Okay, awesome. Well, let's see if we've got anything harvested. Okay, so we've got 5 or so there. We'll grab them. Lovely. Yum yum. Yeah, chewy wires. Everybody loves a few chewy wires, don't they? Yeah, this is fun. I'll grab these ones. Brilliant. So I haven't got many at the moment, but don't you worry. You'd see how awesome this gets in a bit. It doesn't take long to get awesome, to be honest. So here we go. And now if I go into my options, I've disabled the multiplayer just in case more people do come here or whatever. And if I just change this one, hold to confirm and just disable it. Now, when I go over to my chewy wires, I can just tap square on them and eat them. And you'll see that I get a shed load of nanites. I just got 64 nanites for doing very little, chums. Just running around to these little harvesting machines and picking up whatever it's got in there. Now, there's not going to be anything in there for a little bit. I'll run to the end one. We'll see if we get anything out of these. So there's only like, what, 3 there. Fine. Nice. But yeah, after a while you can get these whole things full up, and each one of those is going to be 25 in each of these, and you can get that completely full. If you wait about an hour or so, you're going to get shed loads. So yeah, it depends what you want to do. If you're at the other farm, it takes a lot more sort of you beavering around, blasting balls, and then reloading your autosave, stuff like that. This one, you can just load up all those creature pellets into the feeders and then just sit back and relax. So there's a little bit of work to do in creating the actual creature pellets, but if you've got a few more of these, I mean, you can put down a few more nutrient processors, can't you? And yeah, you could make a shed load of these. Now, this planet itself, once I give you the code, if you want to build your own farm here, make it a little bit more condensed, and maybe improve what I've got here, get your own nutrient processors in, have a bit more carbon, and really go to town on this, please do. Lots of people have placed bases here and are already doing exactly that. So yeah, knock yourself out. So here we go. I'm just going to speed up the footage of me going around and making sure all these harvesters are full. And also, there's a secondary method in here as well, people. You can actually harvest all of the star bramble in here and all of the cactus that I've got here. Now, you can stick this inside of the nutrient processor and you can make some goods to hand into Kronos. Now, Kronos can be a bit stingy with these 2 bakes because they're very low grade ones. We're just going to make some Pilgrim's tonic and some processed sugar. Now, both of these aren't going to fetch me a great deal of nanites up with Kronos, but just to show you that it is something that you can do. Righto, awesome. So here we go. I've got some star bulb here, so I've put that there. That's going to turn into Pilgrim berry. And in the other one, if I put the cactus in there, I'm going to start making, I can make cactus nectar. Cactus nectar, you can just hand that straight into Kronos, and it's going to get you just as many nanites really as the processed sugar. So you don't really have to go to town on this one too much at all, to be fair. But there we go. Let's just have that on the bake. Lovely, awesome, super, smashing and great. And now let's go through these. Let's go see what we can pick up. So, oh, look, that's a bit of a healthier chunk, isn't it? So, yeah, hopefully we're going to get a fair few nanites just eating a singular stack from each of these. And I imagine we're going to get about 75, something like that, roughly, in the time that I've been. But like I say, chums, you could leave this for a full-on hour or so, as long as you've got something keeping your console awake, just leaning on the hat stand, as I call them, the little thumbsticks, just to make the camera rotate around or something. Just going to check to see if these are fairly adequately full, and they still are. You can see they don't use many creature pellets. If you put like 25 into these, or whatever the maximum stack is, you can just sort of go on your laurels and do whatever. Go out, do some shopping, freaking do your housework, and then come back to this, and then hopefully come back to a stack of chewy wires that you can munch like so. And I'm going to munch this one over here like this. Yum, 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 yum. Just hammer that square button and hopefully get a shed load of nanites. When I come out of here, you'd see the total that I get from eating all of those chewy wires. So here we go, let's exit out and let's make it big on the screen for you. 465 nanites. See what I mean? So it doesn't take long before you start earning a freaking bucket ton of freaking nanites. Yes. Let's just stop these as far as they are at the moment because, yeah, why the fudge not? So there's the Pilgrim berry. And in here at the moment, I've got cactus nectar. Now, the cactus nectar, like I say, I could just turn that straight into Kronos now. And I'm probably going to get just as much as the sugar. But considering I'm going to be turning the Pilgrim berry into a Pilgrim tonic, I may as well just make the processed sugar because it's going to be happening anyway. So let's just put this over here. Lovely jubbly. The more times you refine things, the slightly better results you're going to get from him. So maybe I might get just as good results with the processed sugar as I do with the cactus nectar. But there we go. While that's going, I could then head on back out and I could get a load more stuff out of these harvesters. But, there's not going to be a lot there. What I would say is you see the actual feeders with the little blue paws above them. It'd be nice to actually have the number of pellets remaining in there rather than just a little pour. It would be nice to have 2 or 3 or 10 or whatever's left remaining in there. So you got a clear up heads up display of what's going on. Right, well, I'm just going to grab these out of here. I'm going to go up to the Nexus and I'm going to give a couple to actual Kronos and we'll see how many nanites we get. Now, I'm not going to do the full stack because it really does bore me to tears. But here we go. I'm just going to chuck away these pellets as well because Kronos tends to sniff out creature pellets and that's all he'll pick up on. He won't pick up on my Pilgrim's tonic and my processed sugar. So yeah, I would just stick to feeding the droids, but I'm just going to show you this method anyway, because I've got lots of cooking videos. So if you prefer to actually make bakes, I have got some really good ones with Kronos, which will net you a shed load of nanites relatively quickly. But it's tedious. It does send you to sleep. Anyway, here's the coordinates for my droid farm. Like I say, if you want to put down your own farm here, please do. But just build maybe about 3,000 units away from any other person's base, or else it causes loading issues for that other person's base. So just build far away from other people's bases. Oh look, giant worm! Wormy mum worm worm! Yeah, lovely. So that's going to happen every now and again on this planet. Isn't that awesome? Heck yes it is. Right, well let's fly on up to the Nexus and let's go and see Kronos, and I'll show you that you can turn in these baked goods. But I think you're only going to get about, 20 to 80 odd nanites or something like that, depending, because these are not high grade cooked products. But like I say, I have got a cooking list that shows you some very basic recipes where you can learn a lot. I would suggest going into first person mode like I did here, because if you're in third person it moves your elliptical away from Kronos, so it's very hard to just select him again and go straight back in like I did there. It sort of misses the trick and it kind of bounces all over the shop. But you can see there I just got myself 40 nanites for that one bake, which isn't too bad, is it? So I can just keep handing these in, and you're going to see that number slowly going up in total. So now it's on 80, so I've got additional 40 again there. Sometimes though he might not give you anything. It's very hit and miss, but I'm now on 120. It's 120 in total so far. Sometimes you'll see that just zero itself and go back down again, like I think I only got 4 for that one or something. But yeah, if there's a little break in between, sometimes he just zeroes back down. But there we go, I'm up to 50 now. That's not too bad. Add that onto what I had before. You can see I've made a couple of hundred just handing these in, and I'm not going to do the full stack. I've just got another 60 there, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad doing that. So it's up to you what you want to do. There's 2 different methods there, so you can make yourself the processed sugar and also the pilgrim's tonic. But I would suggest just sitting around on the planet and just getting a load of droids fed and getting the chewy wires and nibbling on the chewy wires. Very nice, but what I would say is if you do try to do the 2, when you go back down to the droid farm, you'd think, well, that's probably done loads now. It doesn't work like that. As soon as you go away from the base, all the droids despawn, all the auto feeders stop feeding. And it doesn't work like that, sadly. They don't ambiently continue eating. They just all frickin' vanish. So at the moment, farming of creatures isn't really a thing because of this. It'd be nice if you could still ambiently feed things. Like how you can ambiently grow plants. Well, these don't ambiently feed and ambiently harvest, which is a right shite, which is a bit of a shame. I'm hoping they fix that in a future iteration. I don't know how they would, but it's a case of doing a timer, isn't it? I don't know. Surely they could do something. But anyway, let's eat all of these and let's see how many nanites we get just before we end off. So it's completely up to you. I mean, a lot of people prefer the runaway mould, but if you've got things to do and you just want to earn nanites on the fly, this isn't a bad way of doing it. So there we go, people. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe, and I'd like to say a massive great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers! And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.